And I believe we are, in fact, live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fury Brick Road. This is live from the apocalypse, where we play tabletop role playing games to benefit nonprofits, aid organizations, and other charitable causes. We ask if you like what you see here, rather than subscribing or giving us bits, you take that money and donate it directly to the organizations for which we fundraise. This stream is currently raising money for Planned Parenthood. If at any point you want to donate to Planned Parenthood during the stream, you can type out !PP donate. Yes, it's funny. Yes, that's the real command. We'll just keep on moving. In the chat, our bot will post the link, and you can make the McElroy brothers yell at us and interrupt whatever it is that we're doing, which is also fine. We also have channel points you can use to unlock our emotes without subscribing, as well as to interact with and influence the stream in other ways. I believe in our stream, what you can do is use the PP donate command. If you donate $10, you can give a player advantage. And you can also use your channel points to give a player of your choice guidance. Just let us know which player you want to give advantage to. As was established in Nephilim last week, if you do not tell us which player gets it, I get it. The GM gets advantage for whatever shenanigans she wants.
Don't let it happen, folks.
So don't let it happen, folks.
Don't
let it happen.
Be specific.
And
be specific. Be
All right. Without further ado, let's get into it. Where we last left our heroes, we were just after the events that brought them all together, finding this Wumpus for Effie's roommate, Denton the Wheeler. Effie has gone off to try to find some way to make herself a little bit more waterproof after an encounter with some extremely belligerent ducks. And Melbourne and Elise went to a spooky barn, and they had a spooky encounter at the spooky barn. Barnum, in the meantime, who was, I don't remember which persona he was in at the time.
Sir Alton Edgewater, I believe.
Yes. Sir Alton Edgewater disappeared to go find a friend of his. And we're not sure where he's at. So we begin in the town of Olivine with our friend, the tiny paper doll, heading back to her home, her little cardboard box inside what probably looks like a larger cardboard box that her friend Denton lives in. Can you describe the interior of Denton's home for us?
So the interior is, I can tell you from what I can see, right? So
yes, from Effie's point of view.
So from her point of view, there are like lots of tables and chairs and things. It's not nice by any means, as you mentioned. It's all sort of very brown and maroon colored, which is a little odd too. Nothing seems to be very clean or pristine. Everything is, despite him being a wheeler, everything is very, there's a lot of wooden things there. There's a lot of knickknacks around, which is a little strange because he doesn't come across as that kind of person, but he likes things, which I appreciate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so inside his house, there's a box that he was very kind when we came back. that he set up, and then since then, I've been sort of making it homey, and grabbing things and creating. I created my own bed. I made drapes, even though there's not a window. All kinds of those little touches, so it actually feels like a room, like a home. I have a little workbench for what I would consider small crafting, like ceramics. So I have my own cup, even though I don't drink. It's very homey.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So when you get in, you see Denton reclining in a chair that is that you and he made to suit his anatomy. For those of you who do not know what a wheeler is, wheelers are vaguely humanoid creatures with exceptionally long, spindly arms and legs that terminate in wheels. They sort of four-legged roller skate around the world. They have very flat faces and very kind of shaggy hair, and their necks do weird stuff. Like they do not move like I don't know if any of you have ever seen someone wearing one of those four-legged stilt costumes. They don't move like that. They move like a Gumby version of that. If you are not used to it, it can be upsetting. Effie, on the other hand, is used to it. So you see
Everything's upsetting.
everything's upsetting. It's Oz. He's sort of lounging in his chair, looking kind of morose, as he kind of has been for the past couple of days. Do you announce yourself when you enter?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. What do you say?
Oh.
You got noise gated. I did not hear that.
Bedlam probably did. I loudly, in a very sing-songy way, say hello.
All right. Oh, hey, Effie, how are you doing today?
I actually made some new friends in town. I'm very excited about it.
Oh, that's real good. That's real neat.
I don't know how much you're aware of things that are going on in town, but I heard there's a festival coming up and there's a ball associated with it.
Oh, I do love balls.
I do too. I'm very excited.
Yeah. That would be great. He reaches for a drink. And his hand has the wheel. There's sort of the wheel assembly, but there is an opposable thumb that kind of like looks a little bit like one of those wheel locks on like a medical cart. And it's sort of so he goes and sort of tries to pick up a drink, but you can see that he's forgotten for a second, like in his excitement about the ball. He picks up the drink, but then because of his broken wumpus, like it like fails, like and like he drops his oh no. I made a mess again, Effie.
I'm gonna maintain a healthy distance there.
Yeah.
The good news is part of the reason I'm here is so that I can help waterproof myself. I had this brilliant idea, and I think I have the tools to actually make a mixture to coat myself so that when these things happen, it doesn't affect me as much.
That sounds like a really really great idea. So good. That's such a good idea. You're so smart.
Thanks.
Do you he sort of gets up and like is skating, and you, Effie, you know he's drunk. Like, you don't really understand drunkenness, never having gotten to that state yourself. But you have seen what happens when creatures do get drunk. And you've been coming home and Denton's been kind of drunk. It's been more frequent recently. You're not sure where he's getting it from. But he gets up and he's still he moves around okay on 3 limbs. He'd probably move around better had he not been drinking. But there he is. He goes and gets something to clean up and starts mopping up the floor. So tell me about this ball.
I was hoping you would be able to tell me more about it. All I know is that there's the Olive Festival, and someone said that associated with it, there would be a ball and a contest. And some of my friends are working on the contest part, but I don't know about the ball part. Like, can we just go?
Oh, I think it's for the whole town. I mean, Bim's been talking about it every so often, at the games. And yeah, he says that I think everyone's invited to all of the festivities in town.
Well, that's very exciting because I already started making a dress for it.
Oh, that's awesome! Oh, can I see? Do you have like a design for it?
So I have 2 ideas. One of them is a little bit like so it goes in and out, and it folds over with these tissue paper. And the other one is sort of like bunchy and almost like looks like flowers.
So you're saying it's so you're doing like a princess dress, like a princess ball style ball gown with like overlapping tulle or flower designs.
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome. That sounds just so cool. That sounds so cool. Yeah, so you're gonna go to the ball.
Well, you were really thinking about it too.
Oh, I would love to if I could just get my Wumpus. It would be great. It's just shit, man, because like you need money to buy items, but when you're hurt, you can't work and get money.
Well, I'm not great at money, but I'm good at a lot of other things. So,
And
maybe we'll figure something out.
That's good. That's good. I think we can figure something out. We may be having a brief technical difficulty in that we are using Google Meets, and we just got the "we're about to kick you out" alert from Google Meets. That might be what we
might have to do.
Yes, deeply annoying. So apologies for this extremely on brand for Live from the Apocalypse settings issue, and we will return in mere moments.
Mere moments. Don't go away. We're coming back.
Don't go away.
And we're gonna learn all about this damn dress.
We're gonna learn all about this dress.
And I wanna know.
I have not been watching Project Runway every night for the past couple nights to not talk about this dress.
Thank you, Will.
Woo!
Thank you.
Another
Will.
round of
We
applause.
appreciate a round of applause for our behind the scenes guy. And if you are interested in more stuff from us and from Live from the Apocalypse and from Hope for TTRPGs, you should check out Gen Con. I will give a longer plug and advertisement for that later. But now that we have done all of that stuff,
Got it. We've got it.
let's get back to the action, the extremely actiony action of a enthusiastic paper doll and her drunk wheeler roommate.
Yes.
And
Yes, please.
so what I'm saying is there you think there's money-making opportunities at this festival?
I think so. I mean, first of all, it's really great to know all of your neighbors, right? Because that's how things get done here, it seems. Second of all, I think they're going to be having this contest for olive oil, which is super cool. And then third of all, I think that like you can talk to people and meet people and do things there. I think there's a lot of opportunities.
I like it. I like it. I'm sold. Sold. We should go.
I absolutely agree.
Joe, I think you're muted. No?
So, is Stella there still? No. Okay, cool. So now I can tell everyone else about this beautiful dress that I've shared with them in the meantime. So I have 3 different options that I've been thinking of. And one is like a bunch of tissue papers sort of like stacked on top of each other to make it like a little bit ridged, and a very form-fitting bodice because paper is very flat. So that'll just be super easy to get. And then one of the others is this pink and shimmery color. And I actually think that I could grind up some maybe tin foil to make it really reflective, which would be super cool. And then it goes out at the bottom too. I guess all of them sort of go out at the bottom. And the third one is actually pieces of tissue folded over each other to make beautiful little pleats. And then the top comes to 2 peaks here, and then I think I want that one blue. So I'm between all 3 of these different ones because I just can't decide. So I might actually just have to make all 3 because there's no downside in making things, right?
Absolutely. And whenever you get back to Cotton Clip, you can absolutely sell your designs, right?
I hadn't even thought of that. That's a great idea.
You gotta be thinking about future merchandising opportunities, Effie.
Well,
Yeah,
usually I just keep all of the clothes because they don't take up a lot of room, but that's a really good idea.
That's true. So, do you need my help?
Yeah, just
have
fucking
fun.
grip it,
Think
rip
so.
it, baby. Slop that down,
Not this
dude.
time.
Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
What was that, Marcus?
Hey! Thank you, Julia.
Julia, does she donate for? Julia, did you donate to give someone advantage? Yeah, she'll have to put that in the chat. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Well, thank you, Julia. Thank you very much for donating. And if you'll put in the chat who you want to give advantage to. If you would like to give advantage to my fucking Discord, that would
Uh-oh.
be really cool.
I
to
think
just
that's what
keep
she
it
did.
fucking-
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Um,
to appease the technical gremlins.
oh,
And
thank
Della,
you.
Della has it.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. Ha.
Okay.
So, Denton, when you say make a insight check for me.
Insight is.
Insights.
Can I read that? That's a 20.
Ooh, yeah. When you say that, he looks.
Nice.
You know you're not the most socially astute.
Correct.
But people seem to like you anyway because you're effusive. But you notice that he looks sad. He looked like he really wanted to help, but he sort of says, "Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I'm gonna go to bar and play some cards."
Well, you should actually. I would love for you to meet some of my new friends. Maybe they can help. We can all help each other.
I mean, that also sounds cool to do.
I think some fresh air would probably be great for all of us, especially once I'm laminated.
I mean, yeah, I think the lamination is gonna be really, really, I think, important for you with like water and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'll stay and help.
Well,
And meet
that's
your
good.
friends. And meet your friends. I want to meet your friends.
Excellent. So step 1, I finished my stuff. Step 2, we figure that out later. We'll go meet my friends.
That sounds fantastic.
Cool.
And he skates to his chair and falls face first into it and is unconscious.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, just
had
fucking
fun.
grip it and rip it, baby.
so Effie,
Slop
you
that
are
down,
going to be
dude.
making-
Yeah, dude, crack one for
Yes.
the big boy.
You
Hey, we got another
are-
donation.
Ooh, thank you,
Thank you,
JD.
Thank
you,
you.
JD. We
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you.
Oh, somebody stop him. He's gonna try there.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he stopped himself.
Yes.
The good news is we kept him home.
I know what I'm doing.
Don't drink and wheel.
No
Yeah.
drinking wheel guy. Okay. So what do you when you want to do a thing,
Yes.
Effie, when you want to make a new thing? Right now this is overcoming your natural resistance to water is going to be a significant project.
Yeah.
And one that you are probably not going to be able to complete in an evening. So what I'm imagining, so why don't you make for me what is this what is your tinkering based off of?
I believe I'm proficient in investigation, but that doesn't quite. That one's a hard one.
Are you proficient with a tool set?
Crafter's toolkit is what we've decided.
Oh, ding ding
Yes.
ding.
And that's based off of, so I guess that would be just a straight up, yeah, proficiency, just roll intelligence plus proficiency bonus
Okay.
is what I would say for creating something. So this is going to be something that you're going to do in multiple steps. So your first step is going to be gathering tools, gathering what you need to make this happen.
Okay.
So I would
That makes
like you
sense.
to. So I'd like you to roll for that, and you're going to roll intelligence and proficiency.
Okay, so that is 22.
So you rolled 22.
Well, I rolled a 17, but yes.
Well, alrighty, fantastic. So what you actually find, it takes you a while to sort of find everything. But you do have all of the items that you need. What does your space look like? Because you're going to be doing this to yourself. You don't have a lot of time space to like maneuver here.
Mm-mm.
So describe to me what how is Effie seeing this process working?
Cool. So I do have like a workbench in my room, obviously, because I need it. I have things for mending, like I said, this little ceramics area. It's a pretty big shoebox because Denton has wheels, so it worked out pretty well. So that's what my room looks like. And when I'm thinking about, performing this sort of to myself, I'm thinking I need to grab things that are waterproof, right? So anything that Denton might have. I know metal is waterproof, but I want to limit that because I like being slightly bendable. So maybe having a little bit of that of like tinfoil and then something that is more water resistant as we go along. Like, is there any, like a bunch of rubber bands that I can break and maybe glue together and then maybe like heat up and help adhere to each other and to me? Something that's still stylish and cool and functional. So it's going to take a little while, but that's it. Yes.
Duck feathers.
I could probably.
If
I
you're
might
looking
add
for
those.
waterproof, if you're looking for waterproof stuff, I got into a fight with those ducks down at the pond, and I lost. But I did get a couple of these.
That's an interesting idea.
Duck feathers.
Thank you. You're very helpful. I really appreciate that.
Helpful is my middle name, Denton Helpful Wheeler.
So I will incorporate this the duck feathers. Since they probably are a bit water resistant and fashionable, I'll make like a little bit of a skirt-ish out of them still so that it's cute.
Okay, great. I would like you to I'd like you to make a second roll for your skill at crafting. This is going to be another DC 20 roll. And we'll say that every 2 points every 2 points above 20 you roll, that's another point of like water resistance that it gives you.
Well, let's see.
See?
That even happened? No.
Roll 20 fighting us again?
Roll20 is fighting us, but we have Discord, right? So
Yeah, we do.
Where is dice rolling? Oh, that was 20. No, do I get proficiency bonus or anything?
Yeah, intelligence and proficiency bonus again because you're
All right. So that would be 25.
25. Wow. Okay, so that's you basically make you over the course of this evening, you make for yourself a lovely essentially armor of water resistance. You have a little water resistant suit. that will provide you with basically +2 resistance to water. Water will still hurt you, but this will reduce the damage significantly, um, and give you a lot more time to like get away and dry off.
Excellent. That's exactly what I was looking for. And yeah, I was really lucky with those rolls.
Yes, yeah, you really were. You really were. I set the DC pretty high on those. For third level dressmaker. Thank you all again for tuning into this game about paper dolls making dresses. Okay, so that is basically your evening, and you will sort of spend your time there. Every so often, I'd like you to make a. What is your make a just sort of perception check, sort of a general perception check over that.
Passive perception? Yeah.
Just make a check, make a roll, because you're like invested in a thing, so there's an element of luck here.
No, Roll20 still not working. Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna shut it down on my computer too.
If there's one thing we need, it's more tabs.
18. What is this?
18. Okay, so yeah, you're rolling crazy good.
I swear you can look in the dice rolling channel. It's like
We believe
Discord
you.
is never that nice to me.
No, Discord is never that nice to me. Holy
Yeah.
shit, it's real nice to you. All right. Hey Rouge, how are you? We
Rouge.
are. So yeah, you hear him every so often. He gets up and he goes and does something, and he falls back asleep. And eventually, you hear him in his sleep. It sounds like he's cursing at someone. And you do occasionally hear the name, Bim Paringsley. Who,
Bim!
as you recall, is one of the members of the town council.
The gambler.
The gambler.
Oh, the toucan.
The toucan, yes. Toucan
Or-
Bim.
The two can't.
You can't.
Hey,
So, shifting away from this lovely scene, from this charming workplace scene, we get back to Creepy Barn. In Creepy Barn, Elise is standing outside waiting for Melbourne to our flying monkey friend to open the door for her. Inside the barn, Melbourne sees there's like the big press and the various barrels and where the pressed olive oil goes.
and this is at Evie's Grove,
Yes,
outside of town.
Yes.
And we're here to I'm here to try and help her make good olive
Yes.
oil, right? But we can't seem to find her. So here we are breaking into the barn.
Yes.
Yes.
You are breaking into her barn. And here's where you find when you broke into her barn, you heard the sound of crying. And gradually you realized the voice asking, Melbourne, where are you? Where'd you go? Is the voice of your mother. You, excuse me, are Okay. So yeah, you are in there. You don't. Your passive perception is super super high. Make a. Why don't you make an investigation check to see if you can find the source of this?
Okay. Okay. Um, yeah, I guess I'm a little skeptical. I don't know if it's my mom yet. This seems weird. Why would she be here? So sorry, I was looking for my you say investigation?
Yes.
That is just a regular old roll. I have a 5.
You rolled a 5.
Yeah.
You appear to be completely alone in here, but you're hearing that voice. Um, are you saying to Elise? You can have been able to hear Melbourne. This isn't like a soundproofed thing. It's
Is it a
just
soundproof barn?
it's not a soundproof barn. No, no, I
I
know,
would be surprised.
I know, right? Just she's clearly just not spending the money on like proper equipment. Anyway,
I'm on
yeah,
easy.
it's just wood. It's you can hear through it.
Okay.
Um, so what would Elise hear from you, Melbourne?
So, so I don't know what when I did my wisdom check before, was that for me to have the, wherewithal to realize that that's probably not my mom? And or was that a so it would be really outlandish for my mom to actually be here, right? But is that what I was kind of rolling for?
It would be very outlandish for your mom to be here. That is not what you were rolling for.
Got it. Okay.
So whatever is going through Melbourne's head right now is reasonable for the situation.
Okay. Mom. Melbourne looks around. Is like looking behind the vats. Is trying to figure out kind of where the voice is coming from, but obviously like can't really tell. And it's just frantically kind of like flying around the room because it's a couple story barn.
It's like
And
it's like 15 feet. It's like 15 feet high. Like
oh, okay,
up at the
okay.
like the very very peak of the rafters is probably more like 20 maybe 25, but like up at the corner of the walls there's plenty of space for you to fly.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say like he's a little on edge. This is unexpected. So taking to flight is kind of a natural reaction for him. And just trying to figure out what's happening, calling for his mom. Not necessarily believing that she's there, but this is strange. This is weird. So mom, where are you? Hello?
Melbourne, Melbourne, come home. Melbourne, we miss you so much.
He pauses and stops on a rafter. Can you I can you hear me? I can't.
Your
I
voice
need. I
is
can't. I
your
can't
voice
be
is so
there.
faint. It's so faint. I can just barely
Are
hear
you
your
okay? What happened? What has happened? Is it the curse?
curse. The curse. We're so far from our home and we just want you home. Please, Melbourne. Please come
Mom, where
home.
where are you? Where are you?
Uh Elise, you can hear everything that Melbourne is saying. You do not hear anything else coming from that barn.
Um, Elise, being the spiritualist that she is, immediately assumes it's spirits. So, she lifts, uh, uh, um, even though is it still sunny out right now?
It it's probably, what did we say, like 5, 6 p.m. in like summer. So yeah, it's still light out, but it's not like direct beaming sunlight. You can probably, if you pulled your veil
Veil.
up,
Mhm.
could probably angle it so that you're still in shade.
Okay. She like looks at the sun like a vampire would resentfully, and she like is careful of her hair and like pulls up her veil and presses her ear to like the door, and then she tries to listen to see if she can hear any spiritual activity.
Okay.
Um, she says she can speak to spirits. We don't know if she's just been kind of performing, like when she's doing fortune telling and whatever, but she at least she believes she can. So like she tries to listen very very hard. If she doesn't hear anything, she knocks.
You give me an investigation.
Yes. So wait a second. I have a thing. I definitely have a thing. I just have to find it in D&D Beyond. Limited use. Fine. Notes. Um, yes. I have advantage on any arcane or religion check. That might not actually be helpful. Never mind.
Yeah.
Only to remember or research information about spirits in the afterlife, so would have no help here. I can listen instead.
So yeah, if you are just listening to see if there's anything you can hear,
Awesome.
we can do that. If you are actively trying to figure out what kind of spirit this might be, that's sort of a different story.
Yeah, so I rolled a nat 20, no lie. First roll. If you want the total of that, if this is for listening,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, investigation.
Yes, investigation.
Investigation, that's a 23. But that's super lucky. So
There is a presence here.
all right.
It is not the type of spirit that you typically engage with. Elise, your spirits are generally sort of they're not like souls, they're not like undead. They
Mm,
are they are stories given ethereal shape by your bardic magic.
mhm,
They are archetypes given brief life through your words.
mhm.
This, whatever's going on in there, is not that. So
Um,
this is not your kind of spirit.
mhm. Uh, Elise, her like pink eyes go wide with panic, and she starts knocking on the door, and she's Melbourne, Melbourne, you have to let me in, or I can't help you. There's something in there with you. And then she
It's
like
my mom. It's my mom. My mother. She's calling for help. Well,
uh,
she's calling for me to come home. Mom, are you okay? Are you hurt? Is there trouble?
There's always trouble, the dreadful curse.
Ugh. Where is she
there's
taking you? Where are you now?
I I can't say, the compulsion. You just go. Make another make another wisdom check. Add your proficiency.
That's a 17. Wait, proficiency for for a saving throw? Yeah, so 22.
Your mother. Yes, she would talk like this. Yes, she would absolutely put on this, oh, Melbourne, please come home, guilt trippy bullshit. You know that. Like, this is not out of character for Adelaide. But what is out of character is this, oh, I don't know where I am. Your mother, like you, one of the only things that you ever bonded on was map making. Your mother has no interest in the wilds. She loved the cities, she loved the villages, she loved the towns. But that was the only thing the two of you ever really bonded on, was the idea of exploration and charting. She would know. She would know where she is.
Did you say Adelaide? Because I think her name was Victoria, right?
Oh, you're right. Her name is Victoria. Sorry. I got
Okay.
my right. Her name is it's sorry, I was just naming. Yeah, sorry. Sydney, Canberra, and Victoria is your family.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, just double checking on that.
Yep.
Oh man.
Melbourne, Melbourne, I don't think that's your mother. But there's something in there with you. And she like tries the doors.
Starts dawning on Melbourne that maybe you're right. This seems off. Something's off.
Why would your mother
I-
keep in a barn?
I fly down quickly, and can I open the door from the inside?
Yes, you can open
And
the door.
I let Elise in. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Maybe you're right. That doesn't seem. This doesn't seem right.
Please, wisdom save.
Sure. That's a natural one because why? Why not? God damn it. It's fine.
2 seconds.
I mean, I can add the things to it.
Yeah. Why don't you add your things to it? That's fine.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a natural failure, but I'm happy to oblige. So that's a wisdom save. So that's a 4, an entirety of 4, but a natural 1. So, the gaming gods giveth, and they
Would
taketh away.
all right. You hear a
Need names?
no. I've got the names here. I'm pausing because my brain does not function. The frame rate of my brain is not good. You hear a lullaby being sung to you.
Is it one I recognize, or can I
You
hear
do
this?
not hear it.
I don't
You
hear
don't
this.
hear it. Only Elise does. You hear a little lullaby, and it's hard almost to tell who's singing. But it's very soft, it's very sweet. It's a feminine voice, kind of scratchy. Maybe not like the sweetest, like maybe not the sweetest voice, maybe not the best singer, but clearly they're singing with love. This is the voice of one of your mothers. But it's yeah, this is the voice of one of your mothers. You can
Hmm.
tell. We'll say it's Mother Skift.
Elise stops, like as she, like I'm assuming it happens at the threshold,
Yeah, you walk in and you hear it.
and she stops, and then she like her like reddish pink eyes, which are usually like kind but like a little lost, um, uh, kind of become like dinner plates, and she starts kind of like muttering something softly, and she is no longer present to Melbourne, because like before she was coming in to like come down and like kind of grab your hands, because Melbourne is uh 3 4 feet
Under 3.
under 3. So she's coming down and then like stops and like stands upright and is just like not there. Um, and she's muttering something about um like a snowstorm outside, and like uh there's nowhere you can hide. uh if you could be with another, why not be safe here with mother? And like,
Elise, are you Elise? So like waving at her.
Oh,
Are
little lost lamb. Oh, she's so far from home. Come home to your mother.
hearing that,
Yeah, that's what you're hearing.
and then she's just like, I've got to go home. And am I compelled?
You are not being psychically manipulated. You are being turbo guilt tripped.
And
So this is so I want to make it clear. There is no magical effect forcing you to leave.
Elise, uh beneath the veil, you can see something like kind of shimmer down her pale skin, and she's like, "Sorry, I left. I didn't mean to be afraid."
Melbourne starts putting together what's going on a little bit here, seeing the same effect, and starts pulling Elise by the hand, like away from the barn, like tugging. I'm not very massive, so
It's all right, my sweet. Come home, and all will be forgiven,
Don't,
and we'll
no.
be a family again. Um, do you resist Melbourne, or do you let him pull you out of the
No, because she's vaguely aware that he's there, and she knows very well that he is a friend, so she wouldn't resist being pulled because she is out of sorts and she is like in another place. Uh, she's like, I don't know the way home. And then she like is yanked.
Yeah.
I'm
As
gonna keep
soon
moving like maybe 20 feet away from the building. I mean, can I still hear Sydney, like not Sydney, sorry, Victoria calling to me, or
No, as soon as you guys get outside, you stop hearing the voice. Basically, any time where, yeah, you stop hearing the voice pretty much as soon as you leave the building. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and say at this point, Joe, Elise is shaken.
Yeah,
This is like you are rattled.
yeah.
um is it possible to would I be able to identify what this is? So now I know I've heard my mom. He seems to be hearing what sounds like his mom, perhaps given on what he's been saying. I know he's hearing things that I couldn't hear. Like, would this be within my Arcana knowledge?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll knowledge arcana.
Okay. Sorry, I have to switch back up to the right channel for this. Ouch. 9 total.
I don't know, man. That sounded a lot like your mom. Like, I don't know. Maybe
Maybe
there's like
Shirley
a
is-
portal to the elemental plane of mom here happening. I don't know, because that was spooky, and that was that until it like kind of screwed up a little bit with sort of missing some of your mom's characteristics. You would have sworn that was your mother. And clearly, by what you're looking at with Elise, that she experienced something similar.
Malborn is just freaked out, and he's just looking at Elise. He's like, what is it? What is this? What is this? Tears are starting to come to his eyes.
Elise, am I shaken as per the effect?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Well, you linked that thing the other day. I need to find that. Give me 2 seconds. I should have had that up already.
Right.
But yes, you are shaken as per the effect.
Nice. She looks at you and is just full body trembling in like the evening sun. And like grabs your hand, like tears in her eyes, and she's like, "Good, one of my mothers." And she told me to come home, and I knew that I couldn't, and I just feel so terrible. I didn't mean
Okay.
to leave them.
I'm so sorry.
Me too. Is that what you heard too? Your
I
mother?
heard something that sounds like my mother, but I don't think it was. But she always wants me to come home.
It sounds like you have a good mother.
Oh, Melbourne gives you a hug.
And then she returns the hug and like kind of this soft satin kind of like veil, like with like the faint hint of like roses kind of like envelops you as like her arms go around you with the veil, and she's just like, I don't know why that barn is so frightening.
Okay,
It's a barn.
but it can't be. It can't be our mother's. Like, that wasn't my mom. That wasn't my mother. I don't think it's your mother or one of your mothers. I don't.
I have 3. It's okay.
There's something is strange here. Something is. I don't know what it is, but something doesn't want us to be in the barn, right? I don't think this is. Something isn't natural about this.
I think we need somebody a bit more logical and a bit smarter than we are. I think we need. She like brings to mind like Lord. I'm sorry. What is Andy's character current incarnation?
Oh gosh.
Elton Edgewater.
Edgewater.
Sir Elton Edgewater.
Yeah.
In her mind, like Alton Edgewater is there, and then quickly goes into the distance, and then Effie kind of like superimposes herself and her like kind of like helpful paper doll pose. We need to speak to Effie. I think that's the most logical thing to do. She like wipes her tears and then like takes her veil and like wipes yours.
Aw. I think you're right. I think you're right. We need somebody else here because I can't make any sense of this.
I know there's a spirit in there, but the spirits I deal with, while there are quite literally the spirits of the dead, and they can be contacted, I work more in archetypes, stories. Those, and she kind of like lowers her head. those my mothers have told me, and sometimes have even been in. But Effie, there's something about her that cuts through the metaphor and the analog. I think she's the right person for the job.
I think I think you're right. But I do want to try. I do want to try something. Um, and I think Melbourne can cast detect magic, and I think that's probably a good time for him to try and do that. So he wants to walk up to the barn and detect magic.
Even though there's, I don't think there's a check for this. Elise kind of like whispers to you. She's like, "May the sage guide your steps, and give yourself. You got a +3 to whatever skill, I think, ability check that you need to do going forward.
Ooh, it's for guidance.
That's guidance.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
spirit talking to you, but it does have a 60-foot, like a 60-foot. Oh, it's something special.
Oh,
Yeah, I gather my wits enough to be like, wait a second, I know better. I have training. I can figure out what's going on. He's been shaken a little bit by what happened. But it's like, wait a second, and like walks over and detects magic.
how does your detect magic work? Like, how do you perceive magic? How does Melbourne perceive magic?
Ooh, that's a great question. So because he so because of the way that he ended up getting his gifts, they're very related to his sort of almost spiritual connection to nature, and like going to say almost like the like his ability to perceive life flow, or and growth, and his attunement to yeah, his attunement to just life and growth. I'm gonna say I don't have a better way to kind of encapsulate that yet. But yeah.
You can see the live stream.
I don't want to go that far, right? But like maybe someday he would be able to, right? Yeah. But something to that effect. Yeah, something to that effect. I think I could have a better answer for Melbourne, less off the cuff later. But yeah.
Yeah, just
We've had
fucking
fun.
grip
when you
it, baby.
are
Slop that down, dude.
sort of
Yeah, dude.
open
Crack
to
one for the big boy.
perceiving the world in this way, you
Oh, thank you for the donation.
Thank you.
thank you for the
Is that-
donation. Thank you
does that
so
say Spencer?
much.
Who is that? Who's that?
Who is that? Who
Spencer Page, did it say? Thank you very much.
Yes,
Spen-
thank you.
Spencer is a scholar and a gentleman.
Yes, thank you, Spencer, gentleman and scholar.
Ooh.
Ooh, advantage to Elise. You could have used that earlier.
Yeah.
No.
You know, that natural one kind of stung you there. But hey, you know what? It made interesting plot. Melbourne, you open your perceptions and you are able to perceive some kind of small magics around. There are little charms. Elise, do you have any magic items on you?
That depends. I do have. No, conventionally no. I
Okay.
do have the giant rabbit skull with a black and gold candle that kind of comes off and on. But that is my spiritualism focus.
Right.
I don't know if that really matters.
Yeah, I think that's sort of one of those things where a certain amount of magic kind of clings to that. Um, not enough to be like, yes, this is a magical artifact that anyone can use, but it clearly is a magic focus. Um,
Likely necromancy, divination,
yeah,
adjacent.
yeah.
And she does have that globe
Mhm.
given to her by a random patron that's made of the glass from the Deadly Desert. So I don't
That's
know if
true.
that matters either.
That's true. Um, that glass does not have any magic particularly adhering to it. The what makes that glass takes magic well. That's what it's sort of it's masterwork glass. Uh, but it's not by itself magic.
Mm.
The So the whole area of Oz and Ev and everything on this continent, everything on this land has an aura of magic, but some things radiate it more potently. And in this case, this barn has traces sort of all around it, almost like traces of like spray paint where magic had been worked here once. Uh you do not detect any current magic.
Oh. So like those voices may have really been coming from somewhere.
Yeah. They were really coming from somewhere.
Um, I take a step back and say to Elise, I have no idea what's going on here. Um, I don't know what's causing this.
I, as much as it's very important that we get that Wheeler his Wampus, and it's really important that we help Effie uh, say thank you to her landlord of sorts, her companion. But I don't even know that if what I just experienced and like she's still like she's unintentionally kind of like crying and like she's trying to like appear strong in front of her friend, but she's like, this is not worth it. I don't know what's going on in there, but you said you see magic? She says a little bit kind of taken out of the shakenness. Or what did you do?
I just tried to see what was happening there. Sometimes if you just pay attention, it's like you can see the magic flowing through things.
That's extraordinary. I only
It's
know
there's
it
just so
doesn't
much of it, so much of it everywhere, especially in the forests. But I don't know. I have no idea what's happening here.
mm, let's leave. Um, I mean, we're not soldiers and we're not people from stories. So let's go back to Elise. I'm sorry, I'm Elise. Let's go back to Effie, and we'll make. She'll be able to help us make a plan. And if we can't get the Wampus, we'll find a different way to get it. It's not worth. This is Evie's. This is Evie's barn, right?
Yeah, Evie,
Evie's.
Yeah,
Um,
Ivy.
Evie's barn.
Range.
It is, and I've never been here before. I don't know what sort of person she is. This is very strange, and he just keeps looking at the barn, just quizzically, like, what is happening here?
Uh, and she's just like, concentrate while this while you still have it. Your sight is still present, right? You can still see it.
Yes, sorry, I had to. I'm also a noob to fifth ed, so I had to look. Yes,
If
yes.
you concentrate a little bit longer, you just see where I'm going. Just if you just watch a little longer, you might be able to see the traces of what discipline it comes from. I don't know how to do the spell myself, but my mothers were able to. I just didn't know how to learn it.
So Malvern, yeah, that sounds yeah. And so he tries to focus and see if he can figure out kind of what the sort of streaks of magic were from. Like, am I able to tell anything more about like the type of magic that was used there previously?
Ordinarily, the detect magic spell just gives that to you. But this is old magic. You are looking at remnants. This is kind of like magic forensics, not looking at an active spell. So if you were just looking at an active spell, you'd be like, I know what that is. That's divination. This, I'm gonna make you roll for it because this is not technically how the spell is supposed to be used. Sorry, what's that?
You have a +3, by the way.
You got a
I
plus
have
three.
got my guidance. Yes.
Yeah.
What am I? What am I?
Investigation.
Investigation. Oh, okay.
Investigation.
All right. Sorry, I had this in D20 before, and now I'm just switching back and forth between Discord windows, and I always there it is. There it is. I think I was in the wrong dice rolling, but that's okay. That was 17, and I get my +3, so 20.
20. All right. Dirty 20. So you see, you're like looking around, you're examining things, and again, you're sort of piecing together runic shapes that have been sort of drawn into the sort of ethereal nature of this barn that you can see with your detect magic. You can kind of smell the sort of remnant of some of the burned materials that might have been used to do ritual casting. You are able to identify by the way the fur kind of rises on your shoulders ever so slightly that this is necromancy.
I turn to Elise. This might actually be something that you might be more familiar with than I am. This seems
She
like
kind of like unconsciously like folds her hand, folds her arms. Does that mean? What does it mean?
it seems like it might have something to do with the dead or spirits. Yeah, I don't know if we'd call it actual. Would I actually call it necromancy here?
Yeah.
I
What
probably
does
wouldn't.
what does
So,
Oz call necromancy? Call necromancy?
I guess we
so the
could.
word that's used in the Oz books is not a word you want to use anymore.
Oh, we make up our own.
Yeah, it means it would
Word.
literally technically be the word for black magic, but it's not a word I'm gonna say
Got it.
on
Yeah, no,
on
not at all.
not just on stream, but like ever.
So
Uh,
we call
so
it.
so we can just say necromancy. Necromancy is fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna try and go for something a little less structured because I didn't want to like de-Ozify things and add too much like fifth ed structure to things. But yeah, okay.
If you want to come up with another word, I think that would be fine.
I mean, dead spirit magic works for me.
Yeah.
So far,
It's entirely possible that Melbourne would just be like, I don't know, dead spirit magic.
no, that's very
Which is
Melbourne.
not
So
this is
like
not my
again,
shtick. Yeah.
he's
Stop it.
he knows a lot about his lane, but not a lot about other things. So yeah. So yeah. At least this might be something. This might be something that you know a little bit more about. It's like dead spirits. I
Okay.
don't know.
Oh, and then she like stops for a second, and through the veil and like the light is like heading towards the horizon. You can feel like the relief on your face, like your eyes focus a little more, like dead spirit magic.
Are your are your mothers alive?
And she looks uncomfortable, and she's like, "Last I saw them." She like
Yeah,
kind of nods, the veil
my
shaking.
mother's supposed to be alive too.
Um, I highly doubt my mother's not dead. It would take a they were adventurers in their day, you understand. It would take a lot to take them down. Um, I don't know about your mother, but there is, I'm sure, a way to conjure like an archetype or a simulation of others' spirits and their voices.
But we didn't see anyone in there.
But I sense that there is something in there. It
Mm.
might not be our mothers, but it might be something mimicking them, echoing them. And she like takes your hand. She's like, I think Effie's no nonsense like approach to things would probably be able to cut through the swath of nonsense.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think we should find Effie. And you were right. This is going kind of far for her Wumpus, but uh, this is also strange, and I'm worried about my mother.
Um,
So
sorry.
yes, let's go. Let's go find Effie, and maybe she'll think of something else.
So when Elise takes your hand, if she's running, I mean, like we both kind of have the same movement speed. Do you fly
I
instead
mean,
of walking?
if I'm trying to get somewhere really fast, I'll end up flying, right? But if I'm hurriedly walking, it's going to be that like thing that you see maybe some birds do, where you're like walking along, but you're using the wings to kind of like propel you forward a little bit, like.
That's awesome. Can you fly faster than I can run? Actually, probably better if we stay together. There's a spooky barn behind us. Um, we do whatever that is.
You know, we rush, but we don't split up.
Yeah.
So you rush back into town. Um, it is at this point, oh, it's a little later, but it's a kind of a nice late summer evening. The days are getting shorter, but not like noticed, but it's still warm and pleasant. And when you're in town, the sun is now like behind houses, behind things like that. So there's more shade, but it's still high enough in the sky. There's still plenty of light out. So it's a lovely evening. Um, the uh, Effie, you are going to have a choice.
Oh,
I'm not going to make you roll for this. Mm, Actually, no, I'm going to make you roll for one thing. I want you to make just a luck roll, okay?
okay.
Give me roll a d20.
11.
11. So, just barely enough. I will allow you to make this choice. If you take the whole night long and keep working, you can have a +2 water, water resistant outfit.
Okay.
Or like immediately. If you leave now, you can have a +1, but you're still going to have to put more time into it a little bit later.
And this is assuming they come to me with this experience.
Yes.
I would go with them.
Well, I think we'll see how they bring it to you.
That's true. Okay.
Because I want this to be in character, but I want you to sort of know in advance the choice that you're making. If you leave the project at this point, you're kind of at a critical stage right now, where if you let the glue and the and everything kind of like dry out and then try to go back in and add more stuff on now, it's not going to be as solid and strong. It'll work. It'll still work. But it will not be as good. And you won't probably have it for tomorrow. So that's the choice. Abandoning the project now, that's the choice you're making. Okay, so you guys get to the Wheeler's house. If you didn't know where it was, all you basically have to do at some point is say, "Oh, where does the paper doll and the Wheeler live?" And people are like, "It's over there."
Small town.
What does the exterior of the house look like, Effie?
It's not too humble, but it's not nice either. Again, you have like a maroon color, and there are shutters, so it's not like totally barren. It's not like truly a shack, but it's not fancy. Very humble.
Step up from shack.
Yes.
Okay.
It might look like it could be repossessed soon, but it's not like dilapidated.
Okay. All right.
It's not a mystic lean-to, is what you're saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I love our
There are
housing
not
situation.
drafts like there are at Elise's.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys get to this this humble but still neatly kept abode. And when you go inside, you see, as described earlier, sort of it's dark in there, sort of shades of like darkly decorated shades of maroon and brown. It is lit with a lot of basically miner's lamps.
Oh,
So they are like lamps that are like fully encased in glass. So there is flame, but it's like fully encased, so that there is basically no risk to Effie.
It sounds like an Effie invention. Also, it's not lit, so just making sure. Somebody in there is, though.
Somebody's in there is lit.
It's lit. Yeah.
He's lit. He is. So when you do see Denton, you do see him kind of collapsed in the chair, which, apologies, he is, again, it looks like a very uncomfortable posture, like he's injured himself, though those of you who have ever seen Wheelers before would know that this is just how they sleep. And he is snoring. It is loud. Effie is at her workbench.
So,
Hello.
hi, hello. Did we knock? Did we just knock at the door? Did she? Actually, I guess we knocked. There we go.
I think Elise goes to, like, if she's still kind of shaken, she like goes to open the door, and maybe Melbourne like is like, no, let's maybe knock. I don't know.
I rap on the door. Rap tapping gently at your door.
I'm gonna say I'm like in the zone, so I might be like humming to myself or something, but I'm not gonna engage. Sorry.
You
I
hear you hear
yeah,
snoring, and you hear sort of a change in the snoring briefly. Uh
and maybe some humming from inside.
It's a humming, yeah. And the lights are on indoors. The lamps are lit. There is a window that you can look through, so you do see the Wheeler slumped on his chair, and you do see Effie at her workbench.
Melbourne shrugs and pushes the door open, and he spends a lot. He spent most of his time out in the woods. We don't have doors.
Um,
Needs doors.
Effie,
Hello.
hello. And she looks
Ah,
at like the collapsed Wheeler, and she's like, should we be quiet?
That'd be great. I'm gonna continue working though.
Oh, we. She looks at Melbourne and is like,
so, so Effie, we were we were trying to go help Evie with, make that olive oil so we can win the contest, right?
Yeah, that would be super great.
Well, it got a little complicated. There's we went to her farm, and she wasn't there, and we thought maybe we could help by seeing what was going on in their oil production inside the barn. Um, and there's definitely something in the barn. We think maybe, and it sounded like our mother's calling to us, and it got a little strange. We were kind of wondering if you might want to come back there with us and let us know what you think.
It's not that we're not brave. It's just you're so logical, and we feel like you'd be the smartest person to help us."
Did you go inside the barn?
"Oh, yes."
Okay.
Also, like, maybe you don't have to worry about your mom calling to you. So,
I don't have a mom.
yeah.
Oh, then you should be protected." She seems so relieved. I don't think, I mean, you don't have, unless it works off of stories and archetypes in which, I mean, whoever you'd consider to be your mother would be the person. But if you don't have
So
one, then it's fine.
I Miss Cutting Clips, but uh what happened? What?
Well, first, my mother called to me.
She was
Uh,
only, half paying attention initially. Sorry.
She's
my,
hard at
my
work.
mother my mother tried to call to me, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was my mother. Something was off. It didn't seem quite right,
So,
and I couldn't find anything. I don't know where it was coming from. And Elise came in, and Elise heard something too. I don't know.
it, well, I mean, I heard one of my mother's, Mother Skift, and she was singing me a lullaby, and it was like she was right there, uh, presently right there. And she was calling for me to return home, and she said that all would be forgiven if I returned home, but I told her that I did not know the way, and I don't. I ran here, so I don't know exactly which direction it would be, but I also sensed before I went in that it was some kind of presence, not kind of like the spirits that I usually commune with. Those are the spirits of stories. But this was something different. And then Melbourne, tell her,
But
Melbourne.
it definitely seemed like some sort of like dead spirit magic was being used there. Like, it's nothing. I don't know anything about it, and it's very different from like what I'm able to do and feel. It's very strange, and I don't know. I was hoping Elise would recognize it, and she wasn't able to. And then we thought maybe you could help. It seems like a lot to get a Wumpus, but we definitely want to help your friend.
And
We
it's
can,
on Evie's Vineyard
Yeah,
or
Olive Grove. Yeah.
Olive Grove.
yes, and specifically in the barn itself, we met a workman, and he was very friendly, or at least very honest to us, to the both of us.
Oh yeah, Dwight.
He said that he didn't really go in there either. Am I misremembering that? The worker hadn't gone really in there?
Uh, Dwight didn't really. No, Dwight just did. Yeah, he didn't work in there. I don't know if he was kept away. He just didn't do that stuff. And
Yeah,
Tom was the foreman, and we couldn't find him. I think.
yeah,
Mhm.
Tom, the construct foreman, was in there. There were other workers who worked in there. He had, yeah, like what he sort of said was like, yeah, I don't know, it's in the barn. I don't really he doesn't work the press. He's a picker. He doesn't work the press. Unless uh they like really need him there. But he's kind of like you, Melbourne, in that he's done various types of work for various olive farms in the area. He's sort of like a seasonal, like I'll work for whoever hires me kind of guy. So he didn't see anything particularly weird about him not spending time in the barn, because that's just not where he goes. It's just not
Mhm.
what he does.
But he seemed also a little like, ugh, about, Evie, right?
Yeah, yeah, he was not thrilled with his employment for her,
Mm.
or about the quality of the product they were making.
And, I mean, I know that according to the teenager that, Miss Contralto's son, I know these events might be rigged, but you're the man that we met, he did not seem particularly fond of Evie's work, and that seems to be the talk of the town. In fact, I don't know if I've heard anything about any of the vineyard people being particularly good or good to people, and that concerns me. But you also seem very brave, so we thought maybe you'd come along.
Well, I think we should go. I think maybe I can help. And uh, Elise, you've been very, very kind, and you have made sure that I was protected in your pocket, and have really looked out for me. So I think this is. I think I can help. I think I should help you.
Oh, thank you, and thank you. I don't have many friends here. She kind of blatantly just kind of says, and she's like, I just like that I have customers and then my landlord, but and she like kind of takes your hand, unless you're busy, which you are, and then she takes like Melbourne's hand. She's like, I think we're going to be fast friends. I think we're already fast friends.
Well, and when Denton is ready, I'm excited for you to meet him as well.
He looks over at Denton, he's like a little startled. His limbs
Fred,
go
Fred
everywhere.
Toucan, saying my money.
These looks at the
Melbourne's
two.
less impressed.
Elise looks at you two and then is like kind of like um and then she kind of like goes over and she's like, but what is the toucan's name again?
Bim.
Bim.
Ben.
Bim Paringsley.
And then she's like, but Bim keeps us safe, right? And she kind of like whispers into his like half dreaming ear.
It keeps the money.
And she gets like a sly look on her face and looks at the other two, and she's like, That doesn't sound like him. Where would he keep the money?
Yeah.
He's a toucan of his butt.
And Elise looks comes back to both of you.
Giggles, falls into a deeper sleep.
Elise, are you messing with the four-wheeler?
No, mothers used to do in their sleep, and they would tell me secrets that I didn't know. I just didn't know if it worked on wheelers too.
Oh, he
Oh,
he
you're
likes
funny.
to talk.
What has he said?
Oh, nothing he wouldn't say when he's awake. So,
Oh, well, that's no fun. Those aren't secrets at all.
nope.
Oh, Elise, you're
An
so
open
funny.
book. He's kind of an open book, and it's fun with really big words, but they're not like nice words. They're not nice. They're not nice words.
Elise like looks at the two of you, and she's like, I don't know how much work you have else to do, but it is getting dark, and I know we have to go close to the square, probably. So Shifty will likely be shifting. I would prefer to avoid that. I've only seen it once.
Well, I don't know what we're going to do at the barn at night. I mean, we really wanted to be able to get in there to help them make better olive oil, right?
Well, I'm curious as to what's going on.
I
Okay.
mean, I'm also very curious. I know that dead spirit magic is very dangerous, but well, I mean, yes, it is. But I'm curious I'm just curious as to the mystery of the barn and why it would be there when obviously we should be helping Evie in order to get the wampus.
Okay.
You guys set out for the barn. It is solidly dusk at this point. The sun is dipping below the horizon when you guys return to the farm. And this is where we will leave it with the three of you standing at the gates of the farm, not quite knowing what's happening inside.
Well, okay.
Oh, fine.
So, next time we will pick up right here where we left off. Hopefully, we will have Andy with us again, and we'll have Sir Alton Edgewater or whichever persona he has come up with to solve the latest week's problem. And we will be good to go. Thank you again to Will Malkus for stepping into Andy's shoes and hosting the stream for us, since
Thank you.
I am very
you.
bad at
Thank you.
internet and computer. All right, and thank you to everyone who tuned in. If you came in for just a little bit, if you came in for the whole time, it's been fantastic to have you here. Thank you for participating in chat. Thank you for donating. This has been lovely. Again, we are live from the apocalypse. Please, please feel free to join us on our Discord channel, which will be linked in the chat in just a couple moments. You can also follow us on Twitter or any of your social medias of choice. And we will be. What's our next game? I think tomorrow someone's doing a stream. And I think Sunday Okay.
Ah.
So we
And,
will be having Hades being streamed tomorrow by Will Malkus, and on Sunday we will have Nephilim, where I will be a sad spaceman.
with a lot of nanobots, right?
Yeah, sad space nano bro.
Well, I'm now following Live from the Apocalypse on Twitter, so I hear all the cool kids are doing it.
Yes, exactly. And on the third, wait, no, second, we're going to be having the next live. I'm sorry, Fury Brick Road Live from the Apocalypse streaming. So we're
Yes.
every other
Yes.
Wednesday.
Every other
Oh, is
Wednesday.
that when the next one
That
is?
is
Okay.
that day.
Okay.
Every
So
other
sorry,
Wednesday.
yeah, March the 2nd. So
Yes, March the 2nd. That is that next Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for being here and listening to all of us. And we will be signing off now. Gen Con. Shit, Gen Con. Forgot to say about Gen Con. Go to Gen Con. It's real cool. It's an online gaming convention. We're going to run games. It's going to be very silly. I'm going to be running a Scooby-Doo and the case of the mysterious missing copper pipes. And
it's not the mysterious barn.
No, it's not. I thought about running a Murder Barns of Maine game, but I settled on Scooby Doo again. So that's the game I'm going to be running. I know Malks is running games. Andy's running games. Bedlam, are you running games? Joe?
I haven't submitted one yet, but I have been throwing a couple around in my mind. So
Well, hop on
And-
hop onto that that gencon.card.co link, and you can if you have a game you want to run, if you have games you'd like to play, that's where to find out.
Julia's maybe running a game.
Yeah, Julia's running a game. I think Axel's running Big Motherfucking Crab Truckers again.
If I can be convinced and goaded, I might run something dark and spooky. But I have things I haven't run in a long time. But so there's that maybe.
Might Joe run a Ravenloft game?
I think I'm going to be calling it something different. I think I'm moving into my own genre and world. So, but yeah, I mean,
Ooh.
basically very spooky and very gothic. So,
Love it.
no big surprise, just different characters. So,
We love gothic horror here.
We do.
Thank you guys for coming. And we will see you in 2 weeks for more Grimsy. Have a good one, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.